How about those apples? What the fuck?
State of Jefferson.
The county under the Eastern Panhandle in West Virginia, it's part of Virginia, has Winchester, Virginia in it. In its
So I listened for my name, and oh shit, it's still recording. Yes, or that wouldn't be on. Okay. And they said Kelly Schultz, which is interesting because the Schultz live next door to us. I hear nothing. My name's Kelly, so I listened to that. The theme for today is regressive. Regressive. They were showing a lot of good stuff, like, and I'll show you. We'll start it here. Oh, Lauren. I like Lauren. Is it the new year yet? I think so. That's why this guy's putting his thing up. It's about to be the new year. See, this is what we got going on here.
The left. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. It's probably gonna get me into more trouble with people that I know, but you know
More
what?
trouble?
I do care. I do care. I'm not gonna act like I don't care. But make sure y'all go to PragerU website. The link is below.
Right here.
Young Turks Network. Progressives struck me as liberals, but louder. Progressives were the nice guys. They looked out for the little guy. They cared about women and minorities. They embraced change. In short, who wouldn't want to be a progressive? But over the last couple of years, the meaning of the word progressive has changed. Progressives used to say, I may disagree with what you say, but I'll fight to the death for your right to say it. Not anymore. Banning speakers whose opinions you don't agree with from college campuses, that's not progressive. Prohibiting any words not approved of as politically correct, that's not progressive. Putting trigger warnings on books, movies, music, anything that might offend people, that's not progressive either. All of this has led me to believe that much of the left is no longer progressive, but regressive. This is one of the reasons I've spent so much time on my show talking about the regressive left. This regressive ideology doesn't judge people as individuals, but as a collective. If you're black or female or Muslim or Hispanic or member of any other minority group, you're judged differently than the most evil of all things, a white Christian male. The regressive left ranks minority groups in a pecking order to compete in a kind of oppression Olympics. Gold medal goes to...
He likes that. And another one. Bring it up. You get the same.
Something that happens over a very long period of genetic manipulation came in, or what is very common in the New Age, this hybridization program began. Let's get into that now. So during every single epoch of time, during every single planetary cycle, if you will,
Oh, it's in her title.
we actually don't evolve through genetic manipulation at all. We don't evolve through hybridization. That is a lie that darker entities tell humanity so that they can enter into the life wave of the planet.
Progressive and regressive.
And when you hear about when you look into like ancient astronaut theory and various different popular television shows and streaming platforms and in ufology and on the lecture circuit and best-selling books, one of the things that's always talked about is that alien beings are gods. And not only are they gods, they created us. And they created us because they did this genetic splicing. Okay, and then that's all that's really said about it. There's not really anything else that's discussed. It's just this very limited perspective on human creation and human evolution. It's just like these alien gods came and they did that, and that's it. And this, in a sense, is either purposefully or non-purposefully lying by omission, because these narratives leave out perhaps the most important timeline of mankind, the most important history of mankind, and maybe even the most important teaching of mankind when it comes to understanding our identity and how we evolve, which is that there is what is called a holy human form, or the holy human form, which is what we have, which is the organic.
Organic is progressive. Inorganic is regressive. So if you get like some medicine that changes your mRNA to make like spike proteins or something, regressive. That's why everyone needs it. And if you see, do you see how the mindset has changed in people since that event? Before there was that disease, there wasn't the people seem to be affected by it now, like hardcore. They seem to really be messed up. As seen here. I like her. She's great. So what we have going on is a bunch of people now on the regression path for humanity. Because, I mean, once you go transhuman and start having like robot parts put into you and stuff like that, you're not going to be able to access your spirit and your soul the same way. Do you think a metal arm would be able to sense auras or do something like that? No, probably not. Probably not. Probably not. So, I mean, just think about it. So we have to be real careful in this world with the different groups that we affiliate with or who we champion or why, because we have to be aware of these things that are going on. And these things are going on because we're at the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. The beginning of the new cycle is for the age of Aquarius. And every time you have an air age, you get a destruction and a recreation, which we're going to have our society completely fucking destroyed or devastated because of the central banks being, you know, in the Khazarian mafia and being part of that whole group. Because that whole group is about stealing the names, pretending to be people they're not, and taking over the world. And that just happens along the timeline. But to take over the world, you got to have your slave class, your lesser beings. You have to keep them lower than you, so that you can use them for whatever your purposes are. So that's where we're at. Regressive. I glitched my face. Regressive. Don't be regressive. Stay aware, stay alert, keep your head on a swivel. Look at things, be able to discern, be able to communicate. Listen to your vibes, listen to your gut. When your gut tells you something, don't just dismiss it like it's nothing. And start developing that. Because if you get with your gut a harmony where you know when you're right and when you're wrong, when you know when you're totally wrong about something, and you know when you're not, you may not know exactly what your intuition is telling you sometimes, but it's your ultimate tool for teaching you how to be. Ultimate tool. It'll teach you how to be. You'll know if you listen to it to then be aware. And if you're aware, then you can progress in steps and you can grow that some bitch like a muscle. And that's what you got to do. Because if you just dismiss your your intuition, which is one of your greatest tools for the channeling into different areas your psychic consciousness, so that it can start to grow. It can feed your telekinetic, your telepathic, your this and that, and that's where you want to be. Come here.